Miller, I understand that you have entered a plea of not guilty for complaint of driving after revocation, in that you did drive a motor vehicle, 2003 Saab 95, on a way in the city of Keene, named Main Street, after your driving privileges had been suspended by the Department of Motor Vehicles of Texas. Is there still a not guilty plea in this matter?
I did not enter a plea.
Okay. Are you pleading not guilty in this matter? You can plead not guilty, you can plead nolo, you can plead guilty.
I had questions about the conflict of interest and who's representing the parties here.
The question before you right now is, are you pleading guilty, not guilty, or nolo in this matter?
Okay. Am I obligated to understand in order to enter a plea?
Are you pleading that you were incompetent?
I'm
Are you
just
asking for a competency evaluation?
No, I'm trying to ascertain if I'm obligated to understand the proceedings that
Which part of these proceedings don't you understand? Do you understand what it means to drive a motor vehicle? Do you understand what it means that the motor vehicle that you were driving was allegedly a 2003 Saab, and that you allegedly were operating this on Main Street in the city of Keene? And apparently, allegedly, your driving privilege had been suspended by the Department of Motor Vehicles in Texas. Which part of that don't you understand?
I have a question as to who you're representing today.
I'm representing the state of New Hampshire.
That's who's bringing the charges against me. Isn't that a conflict of interest?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So you can plead not guilty, guilty, or no. If you're not going to respond, we will treat that as a plea of not guilty, and we will proceed.
Okay.
State would call Lieutenant Thomas.
I object, sir. There's another matter before this court. It's been over 36 business days, and the court has failed to issue a ruling. I don't think we're ready to proceed here with that other case having not been properly disposed of.
That issue is not before me. Whatever
the same court,
the objection you have is overruled. Proceed.
Okay.
And are you familiar with the defendant, Mr. Miller?
I am.
Okay. And how so?
He's part of a group called the Free Staters. And
Objection, relevance.
What's the nature of the objection?
It's irrelevant what group I'm part of. What is the group I'm part of have anything to do with driving?
Just prior to July, I can rephrase it. Prior to July 31st of 2009, did you know and were you able to recognize Mr. Miller?
I was.
Okay. And so on that day, you know who Mr. Miller was?
I did.
I would ask the court to take judicial notice that Main Street is a public way.
It will.
I object. The state should be required to prove that.
Have you requested that?
Hmm?
Have you made that request in writing prior to this trial?
No.
Objections overruled. Here that the driver license number on this certified abstract is the same driver's license number as shown on the complaint that's presently before the court.
I object. There's a different name on here. This complaint named Samuel Miller. This says Sam Miller.
Overrule your objection. Continue.
Is it now marked as State's Exhibit 1?
It is.
I object to this being entered into evidence.
Objection is overruled.
You haven't heard grounds. On the first page of the paper you're holding in your hand, do you see the word surcharge?
I do.
Okay. And are you an expert in the application of the tax code for the state of Texas or New Hampshire?
I am not.
Okay. I move to strike this witness. This is a surcharge. It's a tax, and he's testified that he's not competent to testify.
I will overrule the objection. Give it weight when I render my decision.
Okay.
Do you know the reason why Mr. Miller was in jail? Why his bail was such that he...
Objection, relevance.
It may be relevant. I don't know. You may answer the question.
It's my understanding that he chose not to identify himself to the police and to the court, and was housed at the House of Corrections until
Objection, that's,
properly identified. So.
witness has no direct knowledge of those facts. He's simply, that's hearsay. Should be
Stating what his
stricken.
understanding was, that's
I move to strike from the record.
request denied. Ms. Miller, do you wish to take the stand on your own behalf?
I do not. I mean, would it help? Clear things
I don't
up?
know. I don't know what you want to tell me. You don't. If you have nothing to tell me, I don't know your position. Any further, Mr. Miller wishes to say?
Yes. Due process requires notice, and mens rea is not really relevant here. The state needed to show that notice was given in accordance with the laws for the state of Texas. Clearly, they don't know that. They didn't do their homework here, and they haven't met the requirements beyond a reasonable doubt. And this court needs to return a finding of not guilty. And thank you for respecting my religious beliefs with regards to standing today.
Okay. Based on the certified record before me, I find that you were notified that your license had been revoked on February 20th, 2009, and that this revocation was effective on April 20th, 2009. I'm going to find you guilty.